What is going on, guys? I'm Marvin here, and this is episode 10 of Manchester United's Transfer Challenge. Last season, we actually had a chance to win the treble, but we ended up only winning the FA Cup against Liverpool. In the Premier League, we actually bottled our last two games, and we ended up finishing in the third place. Okay, alright, so that was one of the worst bottle job ever, and we lost 1-0 to Barcelona in the Champions League final. So this season, in our second season as the manager of Manchester United, I would like to complete this challenge and win the treble. By the way, if you guys are thinking, what is this transfer challenge all about, right? It is as simple as this. Okay, so this transfer challenge, right? I am not going to be doing any transfer business. The transfer in, transfer out, and the extension of the contract for my players is going to be done by my director of football. And I'm going to use the team that is assembled by my director of football to win the treble in 5 seasons. So we are in season number 2 right now. Hopefully, we can actually complete the challenge this season itself. It's the start of a new season, right? So obviously we are going to talk about our transfers business first. Alright, so when you look at the transfer out section over here, right, you guys can actually see that my director of football have been busy this summer transfer window. Alright, he have actually managed to generate over 200 million from selling players. Alright, to be honest, right, I would say, in a way he actually did a very good job, but there are some players that I really wanted to cap in the team, and he actually sold them. So the first player that has been sold is Rafael Varane to Al Ali for 49.5 million, but there is a potential add-on, that can actually bring it up to 62 million. To be honest, I know, for me to get 49 million for a 31 years old is actually amazing. But last season, Rafael Varane was our most important defender. Yeah, he was really solid, at the back, really helped us to win a lot of games. So yeah, I can tell you generally, I'm really not happy, but yeah, he have actually done some really good transfer to actually replace Rafael Varane. So I'm not really too angry about that lah. So guys, another one of our players have actually joined Al Ali for 43 million, and that player is Casemiro. To be honest, right, this is a bloody good business done by my director of football, guys. 43 million for a 32 years old player, right? It's actually a damn good business. All right, I'm actually quite happy with the sale, and he have actually also replaced a player for me, replaced with a new defensive midfielder. This is seriously a transfer that I'm not happy about. Scott McTominay joining AC Milan for 29.5 million. Guys, this guy was amazing for us last season. When you look at this, right, in all of the competition, he actually scored 19 goals in 44 appearances in all of the competition, 3 assists with an average rating of 7.22. I know when you look at his attribute, he's not that great, but he was amazing for us. Sometimes, right, there are some players in Football Manager, when you look at them, they don't have a lot of star rating. Like for instance, Scott McTominay, he only have 3-star rating. His attribute is basically average, but on the field, this guy is a beast. He was a beast for us last season. He won a lot of games for us, but yeah, this is a transfer challenge. I got no say in the transfer in or out, and to be honest, I'm really not happy with the sale, and I'm not happy with the replacement either. Another one more sale that I'm not happy about: Amad Diallo joining Villarreal for 29 million. So he actually do have a potential, add-ons and all of that as well, that can actually bring this transfer value to 38.5, right? And to be honest, I really wanted him to be as our backup, right winger this season, because last season, right, he actually started like the season injured. He was away for almost half the season. When you look at this, right, 30 appearances in all of the competition, he actually had 16 goal contribution. I'm really not sure what is stuck on my face. Seriously, yeah, 16 goal contribution. After coming back from a freaking long term injury, he was amazing from us on the right hand side, and yeah, I really didn't wanted to sell him. And look at his value right now. 67 million, and we only sell him for about 29 million. That is not a good business, I would say. Christian Eriksen joining Al Qadsia for 15.5 million. Yeah, 15.5 million. It's actually a damn good business, to be honest. I know last season he was actually amazing for us. 12 goal contribution in 22 appearances, 7.04 average rating, right? But yeah, he's 32 years old. His physical have already started dropping. Look at his acceleration, his pace, even his strength have dropped. I really don't know why. Yeah, I don't think if this season he was still with us, I don't think he would have had a lot of game time as compared to last season. So Donny van de Beek have actually joined Olympique Marseille for 11.25 million. Last season he was actually loaned out to Frankfurt, which he actually had a respectable, season, I would say, in Bundesliga. Six goal contribution and all in in Bundesliga. So yeah, I don't think he would have I don't think he would have played for us, to be honest. Yeah, so it is a good deal done by my director of football. Selling him for 11.25 million. That is a good piece of business. Alright, so Victor Lindelof have actually joined AS Roma for 8.75 million. Last season, on the right hand side, he was actually quite good for us. 10 goal contribution in all of the competition, average rating of 7.02. It was a very respectable performance by him, but he's 30 years old, so I'm actually glad that he was actually sold by my director of football, and he actually signed a new backup right back, a young backup right back. All right, so the other transfers that he have actually done is actually selling, Facundo Pellistri to Lille for 8.5 million that can actually go up to 11.25. Daniel Gore have actually signed with Tottenham for 3.8 that actually has a potential add-on that can bring it up to 14.25 million. All right, so this is a bit weird. To be honest, I don't think he will ever be good enough for us, right? Yeah, he doesn't look that amazing as well. So if we can potentially get 14.25 million for this guy, right? I think that is going to be a huge piece of business done by my director of football. All right, so another of our young player, if I'm not mistaken, Omari Forson, he have actually joined Leicester City for 550k. I don't think he will ever start for Leicester City as well, to be honest. If Leicester City, being in the Premier League this season, right? If they are actually starting this boy or anything, they are playing this boy, something have actually gone wrong with Leicester. Now the exciting part is here. We are going to talk about the new signing for this season. So our first signing of the season is going to be Antonio Silva signing from Benfica for 44 million. If I'm not mistaken, he actually had a release clause of 44 million. So yeah, my director of football actually triggered it, and he have actually joined us. And we are only paying him about 9.4 million. To be honest, right? I know he's not as good as Rafael Varane, but yeah, he can actually be as good as Rafael Varane, in the future. Okay, so he obviously is going to be our starting right centre back, this season, and he actually was signed before Rafael Varane was sold, So I think my director of football already knew something was going on. Maybe he knew that Varane was going to be leaving, right? Look at me, trying to make a football game, be more realistic, right? With all of these news and all kind of things. Yeah, he was actually signed before we sold Rafael Varane. So yeah, maybe that was something that my director of football knew, and he acted upon it. Amazing signing, to be honest. And we have signed Coop Miners. I think it's Coop Miners, right? Coop Miners or Coop Miners, I'm really not sure. We actually signed him from Atlanta for 65 million. To be honest, I think we have actually overpaid a little bit, for this player. 65 million, right? To be when you look at his attribute and all, he is amazing. He's already a leading Premier League player, but there's no room for improvement for him anymore. But his technical ability, his mental is actually quite great. Quite great. And I will be playing him as a defensive midfielder, as a deep lying playmaker. He looks amazing, by the way. He looks amazing. But 65 million to spend on this player, right? I think we have actually overspent a little bit. Alright, guys, so Lewis Ferguson, he's going to be the replacement for Scott McTominay. So when I compare these two players, right, you guys can actually see that Lewis Ferguson is better than McTominay. But McTominay actually had the edge, in terms of his aerial ability and his physical. And he actually used that abilities last season to score goals for us, when it really mattered. Let's see if Lewis Ferguson can actually do that as well. Alright, so we actually signed him from Bologna for 56 million. Last season, I really did not see this, by the way. Last season, he actually scored 15 goals for Bologna in Serie A. That is amazing. I don't know. Maybe did they play him as a? I'm not sure. Maybe they play him as an attacking midfielder or anything like that. But this season, we are not going to be playing with an attacking midfielder. He will be our box to box midfielder. All right. So yeah, he's an amazing player. But 56 million, I think it is yet to be judged. If he performed well, if he performed as good as Scott McTominay did last season, right? I think 56 million is going to be worth it to spend on this player. All right, guys. So this is our new right back. To be honest, I'm really underwhelmed. He's going to be the replacement for Victor Lindelof. Okay, as you guys know, Victor Lindelof, he actually joined AS Roma, like I mentioned just now. So my director of football actually signed Joe Scully, and he signed him from Borussia Mönchengladbach for 30. All right, seriously, I did not realize the 30 million. I think if you would have added a little bit of money, right, I think we could have signed Michael Coyote. If I was in charge of the transfer, right, I would have signed Michael Coyote rather than Joe Scully. To be honest, when you look at his attribute, his ability, his star rating and all, right, a little bit underwhelming, but he's going to be our backup right back, right? So hopefully when he is called upon, he can actually be great for us. When you look at his, his pros here and everything, he's actually a fairly consistent player. So hopefully he that will be shown, in on the field when we really need him. All right. So, and to be honest, I've never signed Joe Scully before this. So if any of you guys have actually signed him before in your, in your previous save or your present save right now, do let me know. Is he going to be worth 30 million that my director of football have actually spent on him? All right, guys. So we have a new striker in the team. Last season, as you guys know, we did struggle for goals, especially by our striker. Approaching the end of the season, right? Rasmus Højlund was having a awful form at that time, and we were struggling for goals. That was one of the reasons why we actually lost the Premier League. In our final two games. So, for us to sign Marcos Leonardo is actually a pretty good business, I would say. We actually spent about 20 million for him, and I think there's a little bit of add-on that can actually bring it up to 23 million. Last season, in the Premier League in the Portuguese Premier League, right? He actually scored 13 goals for Benfica. So it was actually a good, I would say, good performance for him, as a striker. He's only 21 years old. He has tons of potential for him to realize. I am training him to play as an advanced forward. Yeah, advanced forward. All right. He can also cover up on the left hand side as well if he's needed to be. But this season, I mean, not to say this season, this football manager, right? This year's football manager, Marcos Leonardo, has been a little bit underwhelming, I would say. So hopefully, when he plays with us, he's gonna be great. I really hope that is gonna happen. All right, and I just hope that he will perform well for us. We're actually paying him about 5.6 million, and he is gonna be the backup for Rasmus Højlund this season. Let's see if he can score goals for us. All right, guys. So currently, my director of football is actually trying to sign Rooney Bargi from FC Copenhagen, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's currently playing for Copenhagen, and we are actually trying to sign him for 16.75 million. He actually do have a release clause. Yeah, he do have a release clause on that. So yeah, I think right, to be honest, if we can actually sign him, I think he will, because he's actually quite extremely interested. All right, so we are in a contract talk right now. Yeah, we are on a contract talk right now. So yeah, if we can actually sign him, right, he's only 18 years old. Yeah, he can actually be a freaking good inclusion on the right hand side. I've always signed Rooney Baji whenever I played, football manager and all of that. I really like this boy. I really like this boy. He is always capable of scoring lots of goals from the right hand side, playing as an inside forward. So yeah, I'm actually quite excited to see him playing. But the problem is, I actually have the likes of, Garnacho, Alejandro Garnacho, and Jadon Sancho on the right hand side this season. So if Rooney Baji joins us, he's going to be our third choice right winger this season. So yeah, I really hope that my director of football is not gonna promise him I don't know, an important player or a regular starter playing expectation. I really hope that is not gonna happen. If not, we are gonna have a problem. This is a signing that I really cannot understand. Okay, we already have the likes of, Marcus Rashford, Rasmus Højlund, okay, that can actually play as a striker. So when we signed Marcos Leonardo, I was actually quite happy, because last season, no, Marcus Rashford, when I played him as a striker, he was a little bit underwhelming. He did not perform well. So I really needed one more striker that can actually comes in and be a proper number 9 for us, So yeah, so when my director of football signed Marcos Leonardo, right, I was actually quite happy. Now, he have actually gone on and have a bid for Benjamin Sesko, and he actually have a release clause of 43 million on him, So obviously, this thing have already, they have already been accepted by Leipzig. So I really hope that I know Benjamin Sesko is one of the best striker, in Football Manager. He's amazing. He's amazing. He can score lots of goals for us. If we wouldn't have, signed Marcos Leonardo, right, I'll be super excited for this signing. But the problem is now, we already have Marcos Leonardo. We have Rasmus Højlund. How am I going to have one more striker in our team? All of these three strikers are actually freaking good. What is going to happen? I'm really worried about that right now. That is gonna affect the morale of the players. If I don't know, for him to sign Benjamin Sesko, obviously he will have to promise, at least an important player role or a regular starter role in the team. So if I can't give him game time, right, I'm gonna be having a problem. It is not like I can actually loan out Marcos Leonardo or anything like that. I can't even do that. Everything has to be done by my director of football. So yeah, I'm excited to have Benjamin Sesko in the team because I know he can score goals for us. But the problem is, and in a way, I want him to reject the contract. I want him to reject the contract so that I don't have this dilemma of a lot of strikers in the team where I can only start one, according to our formation, right? So yeah, do let me know what you guys will do. If you have the likes of Hoyland, Benjamin Sesko, and Marcos Leonardo in the team, how are you guys gonna make these players happy, and how are you gonna let them have enough game time? Because all of these three players, right, they do need game time. Rasmus Holland, as you guys know, he also have tons of potential ability. He's young as well, so he also need game time for him to improve. Marcos Leonardo is also the same thing, and Benjamin Sesko is going to be the same thing as well. So I'm really having a big headache right now here. I really don't know what to do, guys. Do let me know in the comment if you guys can actually suggest me anything. So for this season, right? Last season, as you guys know, we did play with a 4-2-3-1, and at some point we actually played a strikerless formation. But this season, we might have too many strikers in the team, so obviously we are going to be playing with strikers, and I'm going to be playing with a 4-3-3 defensive midfielder formation. All right. So as you can see over here, this is currently our best 11. All right. So basically it's Onana in goal, Luke Shaw, Lisandro Martinez, Antonio Silva, and Wan Bissaka as our defensive line. Coop Miners will be our defensive midfielder playing as a deep lying playmaker, and Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount. Bruno Fernandes will be our Mazala on attack, and Mason Mount will be our box-to-box midfielder. Mason Mount has been amazing. He was amazing for us last season, by the way. Playing as an attacking midfielder. He actually had 28 goal contribution in all competition. And this season, he have actually already scored 2 goals in the Community Shield against Manchester City. So I'm really hoping that he's going to be amazing for us this season as well. Playing as a box-to-box midfielder, he will have more space for him to run into, covering, basically, supporting the attacking line and covering for the defensive line as well. All right, so Marcus Rashford will be our left winger, and Jadon Sancho, coming back from his loan from Borussia Dortmund, will be playing as our right winger. He was amazing, for Borussia from in Bundesliga last season. 12 goal contribution in Bundesliga. If this season he can actually do that for us, it's going to be amazing. He's only 24 years old. He's young. He has potential for him to realize as well. He'll be playing as a winger on the right hand side, and Rasmus Højlund will be starting as our striker up front. So this is going to be our best 11, and we are going to have our second 11 as well. So our second 11 is going to be Alte Bainder, as our backup goalkeeper, right? So he will be there. All right, Diogo Dalot, Valentin Gomez, Martin Wittig, and Joe Scully will be our defensive line. All right, so as you guys know, Martin Wittig and Valentin Gomez, we actually signed them last season. Kobe Mainu will be our defensive midfielder playing as a deep lying playmaker. Gabriel Misehiu, we actually signed him this season as well, on a free transfer. As you guys know, we actually did that last season. We actually signed him on a pre-contract signing, basically. So I'm actually training him to play as a Mazala on attack. I'm really not sure what is going on with his, development or anything like that. Hopefully that will actually be great. And Lewis Ferguson will be our box-to-box midfielder. As you guys know, our new signing that is basically, replacing Scott McTominay. Garnacho will be on the left-hand side, Anthony on the right-hand side, and Marcos Leonardo as our striker up front. All right, so this season, I'm going to have, the likes of Rafael Obrador. Rafael Obrador is also a new signing from Real Madrid, which we actually signed a pre-contract signing as well. My director of football did that. He's going to be basically our third choice left back in the team. And we are going to have the likes of Hannibal as well. Hannibal is basically a product of, Manchester United's youth academy. He's not. I'm wrong. They actually signed him from Monaco, in the year 2020 for 9 million from AS Monaco. I was wrong. I'm wrong. By the way, but I think he is homegrown at club. Yeah, he is homegrown at club. And when I look at him, right, he's already a decent Premier League player. He can actually be. Am I training him as a box-to-box midfielder? Yeah, I'm training him as a box-to-box midfielder because of his work rate, his aggression and all of that, right? He can be a very good box-to-box midfielder for us. And, at the same time, he can actually be a cover for the Mazala role as well. So, yeah, we will see when and in which position he's actually needed. All right, so this is what we are actually working on right now. And yeah, so basically this is the team that is going to be starting against Leicester City here today. By the way, guys, it is the 30th minute here right now, and we don't have a single highlight. I'm going to demand more over here. when we look at the match stat, right, Leicester City have already had one shot on target, and finally we do have one as well. And we are not controlling the possession. I'm really not sure what is going on, but we might have a chance over here. Luke Shaw. He had a header in the near post there from a corner from Bruno Fernandes. Oh, that was an amazing, amazing header by him. And we have actually scored a goal. We are in the lead here. Oh my god. Who was that? Who? Hermerson, is it? He should have done better, to be honest, Yeah, when you are standing there, right, in the near post. Yeah, that shouldn't have gone in. By the way, when you look at the XG, you guys can actually see how boring this match have been. We only had one highlight in the first half, and we have scored from it. Okay, so I'm gonna tell the team that are not happy because, to be honest, against the likes of Leicester City, by the way, against a team like Leicester City, right, we should really be doing better. Guys, this has been such a boring game. 65 minutes, and we don't have a single highlight in the second half as well. Coop Miners is actually tired, so I'm gonna be bringing Kobe Mainu for him. And you know what? I'm gonna take off Mason Mount for Louis Ferguson. Let's give him a debut, for the live comp for you guys to see. Alright, Antonio Silva, he's actually on a 6.5. So I'm gonna bring in Valentin Gomez for him to play as our right centre back. Jadon Sancho is on a 6.5. I'm bringing in Anthony for him. And you know what? Hoyland, I don't know what is going on with him. Why is he tired? I'm gonna take him off for Marcos Leonardo. Let's see if Marcos, coming off the bench, can actually score his first goal for Manchester United. Seriously, guys, I really don't know what's going on over here. Finally, we have a highlight with another 10 more minutes to go. Kobe Mainu playing it back to Lisandro Martinez. Shaw, he found Shaw. Back to Martinez again. Shaw. Look at how Leicester City is actually panned up in their own half, They're playing very defensive. This could be one of the reasons why we don't have a lot of highlights. Because they are playing very defensive against us, Now Mainu again. We are basically just passing around. If you see, right, we are slowly trying to pull them into our own half so that we can actually create space at the back over here. Now look at that. Bruno Fernandes. Oh, that is what I was hoping for. But Marcos, you should have finished that. That was an amazing chance for us to score our second goal there and your first goal. My goodness. Like I mentioned, right, we were actually pulling them so that we can actually find some space. And we found it. Marcos Leonardo should have done better with that chance, seriously. Now, Bruno to Rashford. Oh, no one was there, No one was there. And the highlight is just going to end with nothing. Guys, seriously, I would really like to apologize, Seriously, we only had 3 total highlights in this whole match. And you know what's the worst part? There's not going to be a second match today, because the discussion about our transfers and everything is going to take so much of time of this video. So I can't have 2 games here today because otherwise it's going to be too long. All right, I'm going to tell the team that I'm not happy. Obviously, we should have won by more goals, against Leicester City. All right, guys. So I know it was not an amazing game against Leicester City, right? But a win is a win, right? We still got the 3 point. We did not concede a goal, and we still got the win, right? Okay, so guys, do let me know in the comment, what do you guys think of the transfer and what tactic would you guys try with the team that my director of football have already assembled. When I look at it, 4-3-3 looks amazing, because everyone is playing their role that they're actually good at. So yeah, I think that is going to be amazing. But if you guys have any other suggestion that you guys would like to let me know, that you guys think will actually help, in how these players can actually play even better, do let me know in the comment. I'm actually open to ideas. It will be fun, to actually try different tactics as well. Okay, so yeah, you guys can actually do that. And if you guys have enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.